Hello everyone and welcome to the fifth episode of Blender tutorial series. In this session, we will learn about the scene settings and lightings in Blender. So let's get started. So this is the default scene in Blender and this is the default point light, and we will delete this. And let's see the lighting effect. For that, we will go to the rendered view over here. And as you can see, everything is dark. That's because we don't have any light on it. So I will set the background color to complete black so that we can see how our light will react. We can also add in environment texture. We will see how to add that and how it will affect our scene later in this video. So now let's add in a light. For that, I will go to here light and I will add in a point light, and I will move it upwards in Z axis. And let's play with the light settings now. So when you clicked on light, you will see the light settings, and increase the power over here to maybe 1000. So as you can see, the light is reflecting on our default cube. Let's add in a plane, scale it, and I will move my cube somewhere over here and scale it down. And as you can see, the point light is reflecting on the cube and our plane. As you can see, we have some weird shadows over here. So let's switch our render engine from Eevee to Cycles. And as you can see, our shadow is much more looking realistic, but we still have some noise over our viewport. So I will enable the viewport denoising and select the OptiX. The OptiX will work perfectly if you have an RTX or GTX card. So as you can see, our viewport looks very good now since we have removed all the noise. And now let's go to point. So we basically have four types of lights. First is point, sun, spot, and area. So if we switch our light from point to sun like this, as you can see, the intensity is very much because the strength of the sun is 1000. Let's do it to 1, and as you can see, the light is much more subtle now. This is our sun, and you can rotate the ray, and accordingly the shadow will cast on the surface. You can also disable the shadows from here. As you can see, we don't have shadows now. Now let's change the light from sun to spot and increase the power to maybe 1000. So as you can see, we have this spotlight in a circular kind of way. This is how a spotlight works, and you can increase the radius over here like to 1 meter. You can see the area affected is bigger now. And you can enable and disable the shadows over here as well. And if you increase the size of the spot to maybe 90, you will see the light reflecting on the area is much bigger. So let's change it back to 45. And the last light is the area. This is just like a point light, but in this case, it will emit just from one side. Like as you can see over here. You can change the shape of the disk to square, rectangle, ellipse, or circle. So let's go back to point light now. So in your scene, if you want to have a much bigger power source like 500 or 5000 watts, for example, let's increase the size to 5000. So as you can see, the light is very harsh over here, and let's increase the radius to maybe 3 meters. So as you can see, the lighting is becoming more subtle. Let's increase this to 10 meters. So as you can see, the light looks pretty good now. And if we decrease this to 1000, so as you can see, our scene is much more dull. That's because we have the radius of 10 meters. But if I revert back to 1 meter, as you can see, the right side of the light is much more harsh than the left side. And if I decrease the radius to zero point 0.5, you can see the light is becoming stronger on the right side. You can also change the colors of your light. For example, I will select somewhere over here. And as you can see, this red light is reflecting on the whole scene. So this is the basics of the 4 kinds of light in Blender. Now let's work on a real scene. So I have a couch over here, and the camera is already positioned to the front view. If I click on 0, I can see the camera view. Let's go to the rendered view, and as you will see, there is no light at all in our scene. So let's add some light. I'll go to the material preview and enable the scene lightings over here. I'll add in a plane and scale it. And in edit mode, I will extrude this edge and bevel it so that our background will be completely white. Shade it smooth. And I will stretch it on x-axis a bit. So this looks good. And now in world properties, I will change the color to complete black, but gray also looks good. So let's add in a light, a point light, and move it on z-axis somewhere over here. So as you can see, a light is added to our scene. And now let's change the radius to 1 meter and move the light way over here, something, and increase the power to 1000. So as you can see, the light is much brighter. So let's increase the radius to get a more subtle light. So 5 meter works perfectly. Make sure you are in cycles and the device is GPU compute. And now let's go to the rendered view. As you can see, our scene looks completely fine, but the shadows of the couch are not looking good. I want that the legs of the couch should cast a much sharper light. So I'll go to material preview and add in another light source and place it somewhere on the x-axis over here. So this point source will create a sharper light. I will increase the radius to 0.5. and in rendered view I will position my light. So as you can see, this looks good now. And now let's go to the scene settings, and you can put the render samples according to you. The more render sample means the more time it will take to render your whole scene. And if we scroll down, we have the denoising over here, which will denoise your scene. Motion blur is used when you are rendering a scene like a car chase. So Blender automatically adds in blur to your motion, which gives the scene a realistic effect. Under performance, we have the tile size X and Y. This is the most important thing. If you increase the tile size to 256 or 512, it will render your scene faster. For example, if I change the tile scene to 64 and render it, as you can see, we have the small tiles. It's taking way more time. And if we increase the tile size to 256 and then render it, so you can see the rendering process is much more faster. So this is a way to make your cycles much faster, and you can change the order from Hilbert spiral to center or bottom to top or anything. This won't affect much. And this is progressive refine. So instead of rendering each tile until it's finished, it refines the whole image, and this takes more time. So I won't recommend you to enable this. And under color management, we have display device, view transform and look. So for example, let's go to rendered view and see the live settings. So if I change my display device from sRGB to XYZ, so this is how it affects the scene. I will switch it back to sRGB. So we have multiple transform options over here. By default, it's standard, but you can play with them according to your scene. Like change it to filmic or filmic log or raw. So another one is false color, and if you enable this, you can see in which area and how much your light is reflecting. For example, let's move the light over here, and as you can see, we see some reddish thing. So that implies that the light reflecting over there is very high. Similarly, the green represents that the light over there is very low. So I will switch it back to standard. Go to rendered view. So this is how you play with the light settings in Blender. And this is exposure and gamma and look. So I usually choose a medium high contrast, which adds in a bit of contrast in your scene, and it usually looks very good. You can also play with the exposure and gamma like this. There are basically three ways where you can render your cycles faster. The first is keep your device to GPU compute always. The second one is the tile size. I would recommend a tile size of 256. And under light paths, you can change this from 12 to 8. This will decrease the total number of bounces of the lights in your scene, which will render up your scene much faster. And now let's change this point to spot. So as you can see, this is acting like a spotlight, and I will delete this too. So I'll click on this, and in spot I will change the radius to 2. So as you can see, the light became more sharper, and if I change the power to 2000, the light will become much more harsh. Let's set the radius to 5, and let's change the color to somewhere over yellow. And in rendered settings, if you see from this top view, the light is reflecting on this circular kind of surface. And if we change the settings and change the radius to 3, so as you can see, the light became more concentrated to a part. And if you change the power, the scene will become more brighter. And if you switch it to area and decrease the power to maybe 400 and increase the size to 5 or 10. As you can see, the square area is emitting the light on just that area and not on the whole scene on all 360-degree angle. And now let's play with the world settings. So for that, I will go to the world properties over here and change this to environment texture, and click on open and add in this HDRI. And if you go to rendered view, as you can see, even if we don't have any light on our scene, the light from HDRI is reflecting all over our scene. And this is how an environment texture works. The environment HDRIs are usually used when you are creating a scene like making a grassland or making an exterior design or something like that. And if we render it, you can see the background will also get rendered. We don't want that. So in render properties, go to film and enable the transparent. So once you enable that, as you can see, we don't see the background anymore. So the HDRI lightings will still be there, but the background will become transparent. So this is a very handy trick. And this is how an environment texture works. So I hope you learned the basics of scene rendering and the lightings in Blender. I would recommend you to play with the settings of the lights and environment texture. The next session will be about the modifiers, where we will learn the different kinds of modifiers in Blender. Thank you for all the support, and subscribe to the channel if you want to get a notification about my next video.